My friend, I've been creating YouTube videos for the last 6 years, and on this journey I tried more than 6 different gaming mouses. They are great to play, but they are not the best to work, and for that reason I asked Rapoo to send me the MT760 Pro. On this video I'm going to share with you my whole experience using this mouse and also provide all the information that you need in case you are thinking of getting one. For full disclosure, Rapoo sent me this mouse because I asked, but I'm not getting paid to make this review. If you wanna support me, please leave a like, subscribe, and now let's go to the video. The first thing that got my attention on this mouse, my friends, it was its shape. It fits perfect in my hand and is very, very comfortable. I've been using for hours every day and experienced zero wrist pain, something that I had a lot of troubles with the gaming mouses in the past. And the click, my friends, is so satisfying. It's actually amazing. Listen to the clicks. You cannot hear, my friends, is because they are too silent. One thing that makes this mouse special and different than any other mouse that I use in my life is the rest on the thumb. Here you can see that it has a different shape and the texture is a little bit rubberized as well. It feels really, really good and is very comfortable. The quality of the mouse, my friends, is actually great. It's made of plastic, but a very good one. The scroll wheels are made of metal, my friends, but it feels like aluminum because they are also very light. The normal one that is positioned on top of the mouse is very controlled, similar to gaming mouses, but the one on the side is very, very loose. And still here on the side of the mouse, we got 2 extra buttons that you can personalize to do whatever you want. They are smooth to press, and they're also good position, my friends. They could be a little bit bigger, but it's okay for me. Now on the bottom of the mouse, my friends, the first thing that I want to talk about before all the functionalities that we have here is that the skates are actually very smooth, man. So here on my mouse pad, the glide feels amazing. I think you can actually use this mouse to game. I will try on Valorant later on. Now talking about the buttons, this one here that I'm pointing out is to change your polling rate. Here on the mid, you can select near link or Bluetooth, so you can switch between devices in a very, very fast way. On the last button, my friends, you can see this green light blinking here, and we got 3 different numbers. The number 1 corresponds to the dongle that comes inside the mouse. The number 2 corresponds to the dongle that comes inside the box. And the number 3 is for the wireless version. Now I will talk about the specs that I consider the most important on this mouse. We got 4 different types of connections: the near link, wired, wireless, and Bluetooth. The sensor is a 12K optical sensor, and the polling rate, my friends, is actually very special. It goes up to 2K. This is what a lot of people use in gaming, like high competitive games. So very impressive. Thank you, Rapoo. This is amazing. The battery is 800 milliamperes that goes up to 120 days. The weight of the mouse is 110 grams. It seems like it's very heavy, and in comparison with gaming mouses, it actually is, but this mouse is so comfortable that I don't even care about the weight. Now let's talk about the software. I will add the link in the description, and here I will go through each feature that the software has, try to explain a little bit what I did, and teach you guys how to change things. Here on the second option, the only thing that I did here was disable all these connections here, and you do that by only pressing one button, and you can activate and deactivate. Very simple. And if you want to change your DPI, click it on the box, type whatever you want, and then press OK. Here on parameter setting, my friends, this is very personal, but I will teach you guys how to make the changes that I did and try to explain a little bit why I did it. So because I only got one DPI setting, the first thing that I changed was here on the button that is on top of the mouse. I click here, and the default setting is to change DPI. And I went here on basic function and select to show desktop. And here on the side buttons, my friends, I like to put the key forward as delete. To do that, here on key combination, you go to your keyboard, you press the key that you want. In my case, is delete, and then you press OK. I like to do this to delete files without using my keyboard. On the key backward, I select the button F5 to update the page, my friends. You can be very creative with the settings, my friends. This is all very personal, and you can also use to create shortcuts in the software that you use for editing. For example, in my case, it's Premiere Pro, and on the scroll wheel here, for example, the one on the horizontal, the side here of the mouse, I like to use to change frames forward and backward, and it's very, very helpful. And on the USB report rate, this is our polling rate, my friends. Remember, we got a button on the bottom of the mouse that can change the setting but you can also change here manually by just clicking on the setting that you want, and it's gonna change it. Now moving on to macro editing. My friends, I know there is a lot of stuff that you can do using macros, but me personally, I never use, and honestly, I don't know what to do or how to do it, but it's something you guys can explore and try for yourself. Now moving to switch function, my friends. This is very interesting. When you have two dongles connected, enable the option cross screen switch function. This will allow you to switch one device to the other in a very smooth way. And when you have two connected devices at the same time, this option clipboard function will also be available for you, and this will allow you to copy a file from one device and easily paste to the other one. This is one of the best technologies I ever seen in my life. One of the edges that the Rapoo mouse has over its counterpart MX Master from Logitech is that it doesn't require you to have the software open at all times. You can set all the stuff that you want one time, uninstall the software, and it's gonna be saved on the memory of the mouse, my friends. This is amazing. Another thing in favor of the Rapoo mouse is that you can use a wireless charger, my friends. And to use is very simple. You just put the mouse on top of the wireless charger and the magnetics will take care of the rest. It also got RGB. It makes your setup very clean. And in terms of connectivity, the Rapoo MT760 Pro takes a big leap. It has more options for you to connect with different devices and also for less money. And regarding polling rate, the MX Master only goes to 125 Hz, while the Rapoo goes up to 2K, my friends. This is actually amazing. It makes this mouse not just great for editing, graphic design, but you can also game with.
5 kills remaining. 1 kill remaining.
Now let's talk about price and value and also make a little comparison with the MX Masters from Logitech. The Rapoo MT760 Pro costs about $59. I will provide you guys a coupon in the link in the description so you guys can get an extra discount, while the Logitech MX Masters 3S costs around $99. But for you to have more connectivity, you need to buy an extra USB receiver that costs around $10. Regarding its price and value, I do think the Rapoo is a better option, at least for me. And now I'm gonna talk about why. My friend, like I said previously on the video, for me, not having to run a software on the background at all times is a big deal. And regarding polling rating, my friends, the difference is actually insane. I put myself in the shoes of someone who only has the budget to buy one mouse. They need to be primarily for work, but he can also game when he can. So having 2K polling rating, my friends, allow you to play the most competitive games at the highest possible level. So having a high quality mouse like the MT760 Pro that provides you good build quality, silent click, good battery, comfort, and helps you be more productive, and you can also game, my friends, I think this mouse is actually perfect.